you want to jump in, we're on Twitch now. Hit us up on the chat or hit us shoot us an email at geekdownradio@gmail.com and let us know what you think. All right, now, dude, I got to read a comic called Shaolin Cowboy.
Sounds
a little
kind of
wild,
interesting.
a little strange. No, no, Shaolin
Is that a
Cowboy.
Hey Dude
that was a
intro?
Yeah. I don't have many cowboy references. Dude,
Yippee
so I had to,
Yippee.
Yippee.
You do that voice so
I
good.
love it.
Anyways,
I'm a child.
yeah, that's good.
It's Shaolin Cowboy. It's a book. Oh, excuse me. It's the return of the Shaolin Cowboy. This one's called Who'll Stop the Rain? Rain spelled R-E-G-I-N. If anyone wants to check it out, I actually do recommend this. It's
Blame
an
it
interesting
on the
book.
rain.
This is the return of the Shaolin Cowboy because this is actually an older comic. Not older. We're talking older from like 2002. You know.
Uh-huh.
But this is a book that was independently released several years ago. It's been recently picked up by Dark Horse Comics, and this isn't a re-release. This is actually a new story with the characters. And the best way I can describe this is if Mike Judge tried to write if Frank Miller tried to write Big Trouble in Little China. That's or no,
wow,
I got it.
Okay, I'm trying to wrap my head around that.
Yeah, if Mike Judge tried to write a really long episode of Kung Fu,
which would be actually fascinating. Those
Yeah.
are two great mashups right there.
Well, it's very weird, man. The dialogue is very like early Beavis and Butthead style. You know,
Yeah.
all these characters have insights for no reason,
Just
and then say
simple
the
and like
dumbest,
pointing to the
weirdest-
idiocy of everyone. Yeah.
Exactly, and you can definitely
Because
see
it actually
when,
talks like people talk.
Nah, it
Just
talks
dumb.
like exaggerated versions of how people talk. Like everyone's talking about their iPhone. I spelled like pirate. Or their I'm hung 7 phone. You know, weird stuff like that. You know,
Okay,
there's
okay.
sentient animals. There's like a whole Animal Farm vibe going on there. And I wanted to say there was no allegories to Stalin, so it wasn't directly in that vein. But the story is quirky, and the whole thing is you think it's gonna be stories about this badass Shaolin monk cowboy who does stuff, and no, he's literally that. He's a Shaolin cowboy. And he's got these skills. He's very
In the most literal sense of the word, huh?
literal sense of the word. He's a
Lives in
cowboy.
Shaolin and he works at a music
He
Yeah,
travels middle America, but I mean, dude, he does karate. He knows like these mystical arts and he uses them occasionally. He doesn't say much, and most of the books, it's a 4-issue limited run, and will possibly be picked up afterwards. I have no actual word on that just yet, but more of the story comes from the people / animals that he interacts with. There's underground communities of like dogs who talk to each other and pigs and crabs and things. The enemies are people that are being controlled like parasites by like crabs and it's weird, man.
That's
It's
really
freaking-
weird. Yeah.
Like that's the whole Frank Miller Big Trouble in Little China thing because it's peculiar.
All of a
Everything.
sudden, like weird things start talking and getting
Yeah.
bigger and
Yeah, the Animal Farm thing was kind of cool too. I mentioned that specifically because there's one storyline where one part of this book, and it's not a spoiler, it's just a quirky, facet of the story where the pig is describing its past, and here's where I came from, and I was raised under a kingdom by this great king who, when we came of age, would send us off to another part of the land where we would fulfill our destiny and become, heroes or doctors or actors, sports stars, etc. And when he finds out that when they become of age, they are just sent wherever else in the back of a truck, and then he visits this land one day and it's actually a butcher shop. He's a pig. It's like
it's so good.
It's stuff like that just being realized by the antagonist, and this is their motivation. It's kind of cool. There's there's like nuns with like breasts out to here. It's whacked out stuff. I actually recommend this, dude, because it was freaking entertaining.
It sounds trippy.
Yeah, it's out there, and I expected none of this. I expected like a kind of like a straight kung fu story. He just happens to be a cowboy who studied with
kind of like Afro samurai type.
Yeah, he's on like this noble mission, and it's gonna be serious, but it's gonna be like Battle Pope, where this is just his weird take on all of this.
I like the Big Trouble in Little China reference there.
Yeah,
because that sounds pretty much it.
It was out there, dude. But you know what? As far as indie comics go, I wish more of them were like this.
It's
I
real
wish
weird, real kind
Well,
of
not necessarily
out of the
weird per
left
se,
field.
but unique. You know, this is a book that really took chances. And the fact that it started off as an independent title, you can really see that effect where this is definitely a story that was created without the influence of any focus groups. We need to sell this to audiences. It needs to be safe for kids. Or, you know, it needs to have
Yeah,
an
it sounds
appeal
like they
so we
didn't
can
have
market toys.
any regard for anyone's
Yeah, this is just this
taste.
dude wanted to tell the story. He told the story and then told it again once he got a little more money, and then it was picked up by Dark Horse, and now they're letting him tell the continuation of this story. It's called Shaolin Cowboy. Remember that Shaolin Cowboy. This latest take, just out now. Finished the 4-issue run. All 4 issues are available on like Comixology or your local comic shop. Check it out. Shaolin Cowboy. Who'll stop the rain?
So it's interesting as a book, not just because you haven't seen anything like it before. It actually stands on its own, though, as
Definitely.
an
The
interesting
artwork
property.
is okay. Going back to Frank Miller, the artwork is very disjointed. Has some takes that are realistic, has some takes that aren't.
That's
But
my
I think
problem
it's
with
a little
Frank
bit of
Miller
enjoyment.
stuff. I can't. It's
Yeah,
a
so
little
so many
too.
creases and faces. Wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. If you want to check this book out or want to talk to us about it, hit us up at geekdownradio@gmail.com or hit us up on the Twitch channel, which I forgot to give the URLs. It's twitch.tv/thegeekdown. You didn't check out our social media. That's where you can actually see us. Okay, so, dude,